Welcome back. In the previous video, we are talking about data abstraction. I repeat, data abstraction is an important concept. It's a virtue by which an object hides its internal operations. Let us see a small example for this. So they're given, there is a function called or method called setInches. So what it does actually is, uh, whenever the inch exceeds 12, it should be converted into feet. Everyone knows 12 inches, 1 feet. So how this is done? This is a piece of code which is going to accomplish the task. So we have a function called setInch. Y value you have to read from the keyboard, or the user is going to give it, and this will be assigned to f inches. And if inches is greater than 12, what you do is you are going to increment your feet by 1. And think that we are the user, we are giving the input. Think that I'm giving the inch as 13. So 13 means what I should get is I should get it as 1 feet 1 inch. But how this is internally done, I have no idea. When I see the output, I'll be getting it as 1 inch 1 1 feet 1 inch. So what is the advantage? The application programmer need not to send values less than 12 while calling distance setInches. You can give any value. Your function is going to take it. So this is called data abstraction. So how this is internally done, we have no idea. You give any values, those values will be converted into inches. That is data abstraction. Next is please go through this explicit address. Okay, next is the arrow operators. So instead of using pointer pointing at the object, we can use an arrow operators. Arrow operators having two to three job. Look at this. We have included a distance.h. Distance.h. We have our distance class. So what we do is we have created an object of the class called distance, which is my d1. Here I have taken another pointer, and where I have stored the address of d1 in dptr. Then what I do is I'm writing a dptr, this operator set feet 1, which is same as I'm writing as d1 dot set feet. So this is use of arrow operator. Arrow operator can replace my dot operator. So please remember, so when you happen to see this is a d1 dot set feet, which is same as dptr, you have studied in the linked list, we use this operator set feet 1. Both are one of the same. So this is one use of your arrow operator. Next is about the calling one member function from other one. So if you take a class, your class can have any number of member functions. So inside one member function, you can call the other one. Let us see how this can be done. So look at this. We have a class called A, which starts here, and which ends here. And if you look at this, we have a variable called x, and we have two member functions. One is setx, other one is setx indirect. So this is the place where I define my setx function. So setx belongs to the class A. Yeah, belongs to the class A. So this is a place I'll be defining this. Again, I have another one called setx indirect. Again, this belongs to the class A. Using scope description operator, I define it. Setx q. So q as parameter, I'll call this function. Fine, this is going to work. Now look at my main function. A1, I've created an object of the class A using this A1 I call, using this object I call the member of the class A. So where, so setX indirect belongs to the class called A. By creating an object I have called this. So that is calling one member function from another one. This another. So this member function, this member of call a member function which belongs to the class A. How it is done? Using an object. So very simple. So please take care of this. So please remember this. This is your class which starts and ends here. These two lines says where the class starts and ends, and you have which has got two functions, and where this is defined. This is defined outside the class. You have a setX is defined here. Your setX indirect is defined here, which ends here, and this is your another method which is not part of your class. Inside this method or inside this function, you create an object of the class called A, and object name is A1, and using this object you access member of the class. This is as simple as this. The next is overload member function and member data. This is also very important. Please take care. Member function and member data. So in this the first one is overloaded member functions. Member function can be overloaded. You know what is overloading? Two or more functions have the same name. So look at this. I have a class called A which is having no member functions with the same name. Function show overloaded. First one is function with no parameter. Second one function with a single parameter. Function show is overloaded. See here is the output for this. Here is I'm going to define it. What is my first show is going to do it, which is going to print the hello. What my second show does, which takes read an integer, which takes x as parameter or integer, and those many times which is going to print the hello message. And so look at my class A starts and which ends here, and this is the place where I define my first member function. I repeat how I define using my class name, scope resolution operator, and my method name. Again, second one also same. So this is my class name, scope resolution operator, function name I've defined. And look at this. This is again an independent function which does not belongs to the class. So what I do is I've created an object of the class A inside this, which is A1 here. Using this A1, I access both the functions. Show function without parameter. Again show 3 function with parameter. So the first show is going to invoke this function show without parameter. So which is going to print hello one time. Secondly, what happens? I've called the show with 3 as parameter. So obviously it will go to the second function here. So now what is my x? X is going to be 3. So which is going to print the hello how many times? From 0 through 2. This means 3 times hello will be printed. So which is going to be the output. So finally what happens? The hello will be printed how many times? 3 times. 3 plus 1, sorry. First time 1 time, second time 3 times. So there is another example. There is what is, you will be thinking, what is the use of this overloading? So overloading permits member function of 2 different classes to have the same name. If you look at this, class A which starts here, which ends here. You have a class B which starts and ends here, and both the classes have the same functions because of function overloading. So this is a facility of function overloading. So I hope you understood this.